Okay, how do I get back down and out of here? Through here. Okay. I guess the quickest way back to the beach would be via that transport, now that I'm already in the dome. So we will take it from here. Just fast forward this video. This is like one of the longest video sequences. Yeah, just fast forward this. I just want to be there. Thank you. It was kind of cool the first time, but it's not cool enough to compare really to the Riven transports, so I don't want to watch it every single time. So, presumably that's going to have done something over here. That's why I'm going back here, right? I'm assuming what I just did to drain water will have changed something here. And I'm just going to check that that is the case. Or is not the case, and I misunderstood what that just did. Okay. That all still looks the same. I still don't feel like I have a good mental model of where this is in relation to everything else. Yeah, this was filled before, wasn't it? It had blue stuff in it. Now it's not? Still won't open, though. But yeah, this was filled with water. Okay. So, above the door, there's a way to open it. Of course, I understand this is, like, purposely obtuse, because this is, you know, they're trying to keep this secret. But how do I get up there? There was nothing in here that was like a path out, I think. This is just, you kind of walk around here, and there's nothing here that like lets you go there. As far as I remember. Yeah. I'm sure there would be some great history here if I could read this text. And I'll come back here once I have the means to read it, which I currently do not. I bet it's at the Scarlidi Tower somewhere. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking I have to find this, I have to find another, like, alternate way to access this Levandis Zone. That would allow me to get up here, right? It's not accessible from here. Like, this walkway, it must continue, it must be, like, accessible from somewhere else, right? Because I see nothing here that would let me get up there. Like, am I just being dumb? What is that building over there? Have I been to this building? I'm just wandering around here and, like, I do not see a way up here. We supposedly have to get up here, right? The note tells us that we do. I actually am kind of tempted to just wander about the Fulitsu Islands just to see, is there anywhere else where it tells us we can get to Levandis Zone? Because I have no idea where this is in relation to the rest of the world. I cannot picture it. Let's see. I'm just going to go through every eye portal I see and see, does it tell us we're in Levandis Zone? Because right now, that island is just complete, like, I don't even know what it attaches to. There's stuff there, right? Like, I think that must be accessible from some other side. And I probably walked right past it and not known it was the same area. So let's just, find an eye portal, go through it, right? Can we get it to say Levandis Zone? This is where? Harbor Zone. No, yeah, obviously this is Harbor Zone. There's no eye portals that way, from what I remember. Yeah, none that way. Where... This portal, I believe, goes back to the dome, right? It goes to the dome zone, if I'm not mistaken. Just to us, part of it where we can't... Yeah, this goes to just an alternate entrance. No, actually, we did do stuff here, so is this going to be changed, or no? I mean, we didn't rotate the dome. So yeah, this appears to be unchanged. Nothing to do here. We do get an alternate view of this area, but that's it. Oh, huh. There used to be a door down here along the beach. We might be able to find this area. Huh. Can we find that area? That seems important to get into. Okay. Again, I'm just going to try and find as many portals as I can, go into them. Okay. Hold on. So there's an alternate type of portal over there, look. I saw that in the computer system. That's one of the types of portals. How do I get there, actually? Oh, it's through that, thing. Through the, like, bullet thing. Okay. I don't know why I'm calling it bullet. It's by the gate that opens and shuts. There's a rail cart there, and it goes through here. Except it's not. It can't, because the levers are jammed. Okay. This is... Pieta Factory Zone. Yep. Okay, we know this one. We've been here. Yeah. See, and there's a very similar looking structure down there. Of course, the rails to this have collapsed, so I don't think a rail cart could realistically go along there. This just goes back to the dome zone. Right, that's the portal we just came through. Oh, there's another portal out there. Wait, how do you get to that one? Oh, wait, there's a ladder out there. Wait, how do you get to that set of ladders? Maybe I had not inspected this area as thoroughly as I thought. Is there a way to get to this set of ladders outside of this? Hold on. I saw, like, ladders outside. I don't think it would be any further than this. That's weird. Why are there ladders out there? What did they go to? Okay, so obviously this is the portal I just came through. Oh, right, that's the portal on the rail tracks. Okay, yeah. Right, so this one is inaccessible to me, and even if it were, I don't think I would want to ride a minecart through it, because I would just crash into the ocean. Right, I forgot that was just one of the other ordinary eye portals there that did that. Okay. Can we find any other portals that go to Levandis Zone? Any other portals at all that go there? Any part of it whatsoever? I think that door is bugged. It keeps appearing open, even though it's closed from a distance. I think that's just a bug in the game. But it's not major. Skip this ride again. Okay, so that portal to my left will just bring us in a circle. So let's see. There's one other portal that I can think of, and I forget where exactly it goes to, but it was just like a dead end at one point. Maybe I can do something there now. Let's see. This one. Ah, yeah. Levandis Zone. Is this on top of it? Is this on top of that tank? Are we on top of it right now? I don't think we are. It's over there. It's over on that landmass where my cursor is. So, what could we do here again? It's been a while since I visited here, and last time I just considered it a dead end. But obviously, they wouldn't just put like a complete dead end area in this game. So there's got to be something we can do here. Oh right, this is the gun tower. Waiting for microphone signals. So this is in the Levandis Zone. This is the only other access we have to the approximate area of that tank. And it's waiting for microphone signals. Now, is that the island that we were just on, actually? Could this be like a Smalllock's spy contraption? Where it's meant to, like, listen for people that are going here? Is that the place where we just were? I can't quite tell from this distance if that's the same landmass. It kind of looks like it with the pipe going off in the distance. I cannot tell. Okay. There's gotta be something to this to do with... accessing that. Because we did all the steps, we drained the water. We just need to find the lever that's above that door. But how do we get there? Maybe via this thing. There's an eye portal on this thing, right? Are these rails? Could a rail cart maybe bring us there? Maybe we need to activate one of the other rail carts. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's how we use the oil? But didn't he say that it should be powered by a Pevita? Hold on. I need to review that note. I think that's the last thing I'm going to do today. He said a fuse from a Jalood transporter would work. Actually, can I get back in here? Is there a fuse I can find in here? Because I think this is the only Jalood transporter I'm going to have access to throughout this entire game. Can we get in to this vehicle again? Do these buttons do anything? I didn't even think to do this. Aha! A Jalood fuse. For some reason that just clicked right now. Like, I didn't assume that we could take it just out of this transporter. Hold on, can we turn that? Can we put that back down? Okay, we can. Okay. Yeah. Still looks basically the same. Okay, we have a Jalood fuse. For some reason, I just kind of assumed we were going to need to get one out of a different Jalood transporter. I didn't think... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Hold on. I didn't think to just take one from the transporter that we had used to get here, but yeah, obviously, it's useless to us now. We only used it once at the very beginning of the game. Like, why would we need that fuse to be in that transporter still? We just don't. Especially because we know there are not going to be any new arrivals, so even on the off chance... Oh, hold on, I'm going the wrong way again. It's actually over here that we need to do that. I believe, upstairs here. And I might need to change which way the power is flowing here. Yeah, to open this door. Let me do that. Okay. Go that way. Alright. Now I can open that door. I can put the fuse there. At least that's one thing I know for sure I can put there. That will for sure work. And that was another one of Amir's notes to Mason. So, again, these are all the steps Mason was supposed to do. But I am now playing double duty as Mason. Wait, no. It wasn't here. Oh no, it's down the stairs here, just to my left. Go this way, please. Yes, this way. Okay. A Jalood fuse. Yeah, okay, that obviously does belong there. Until the portal activation generator is powered, let me know in advance whether you need to use the cards and I'll sort the activation for you. I've had to extract the fuse in this card for the time being, but Jalood's fuse should suffice. Okay, I still don't know what's up with the portal activation generator. I don't know if that is the thing I turned on, like, at the very beginning of the game. But let's just try this now, see what happens. Is this gonna work? Are we gonna crash into the ocean? I have no idea. Let's go. Okay, there is a stop here. Oh. Okay, we've just been lifted onto this other track. I think we're in the Levandis Zone right now. Are we? Kinda seems like we are. Yes, we are! We're back here. Is this how we get on top? Oh. Okay. This must be how we get on top of the tank there. Come on, it's gotta be. Of course, it might be unwise to do that, because supposedly there is something listening for microphone signals. Like, I'm so cautious that Smolox is watching all of this activity. Okay, we can go that way. We'll do that in a sec. Man, it feels nice to have another new area. We're here. This is the platform. This is it. That's unlocked the door below. We can get in here now. That's one of our main goals, is to get in here. Yeah, it's this area for sure. Oh man, that's awesome. I was right. Those were rails on the other side of that. When I was in the microphone listening tower. Go here. It's a bird watching spot. Huh. Okay. That is, I take it... Oh, hold on. This is another active, zone. Not that I know how to use them at all. I still have not figured out this stupid Pelska portal thing. You know, the flora numbering system is still unknown to me, so... is that all that's here? Hold on. There was a door here that I could do. That I could go into. So that's the building I think I was in before then? No, it's not the same building. I was looking at that building from a distance. So what is this gonna be? Hold on. Oh, security door? Okay, this is probably the security door, because that is the logo of the security company. I only see 2 buttons interactable in the store, so I do not know what to make of that. I might have to read up on the security doors again. That seems to be the only thing in here. Yeah, it's the only thing in here, and it's just those 2 buttons, as far as I can tell. So maybe you have to press them in some order, some particular order. Yeah. Oh. Ah, there's there's a PIN code you have to enter. Now, we do have some numbers written down. I have 4321 is one combo I have written down. And I also have a 4231 somewhere. Although, now that I think about it, that 4321 is probably meant to be combined with the PSFs, because isn't it the same colors? Yeah, it's the same colors. So you have to take the PSFs probably and multiply them by amount. Like 584 by 0.34 is one of them I have. You have to multiply that by 4 probably, and the other one by 460 is by 3, and so on. So I don't think that's for this, because it would accept a much larger number then. But the 4231 doesn't seem to be related to this either. It was for the Pelska portals, if I am not mistaken. Yeah. 4231. And also, That was supposed to accept Flora and Constellation numbers. So I'm hesitant. You know, I'll type those in just as a, you know, try it, see what happens type thing, but no. No. Okay. Neither of those are correct. I do not know what the combo for that is. I'm gonna quickly save my game a second. Oh yeah, select this and save. Okay. At this point, I think I've made decent progress in the game, so I'm gonna read the two full new journals I picked up, and that's the last thing I'm gonna do today. Journals. We picked up another journal by Vamir and a journal by Mason. And that both of these, you know, they're journals, so they'll probably contain important clues for things. Mason's journal I'm interested in, particularly because I want to know more about Mason. Mason. That is what Vamir came to call me. There's nothing wrong with the name, although I know, deep down at my core, my real name is very different. Even after so long since I arrived on Neyyah, my memory has not fully returned to me. I know this frustrates Vamir. He wishes to understand, but I know he has already constructed stories in his head regarding my whereabouts, and the connection with the Equilibrium. One night, perhaps a month after I had arrived on Neyyah, once Vamir had made sure I looked like one of the Olugerians, with the mark of Ology drawn on the side of my face, I recalled the dream to Vamir. I could only piece together certain parts of it. There was a portal opening up before me. Purple, rocky outcrops surrounded me, and light exploded from out of the portal ahead. I was being lured into it. I heard voices behind me, and upon looking back, I could see 4 cloaked figures, spaced apart from one another by at least 2 meters, and a crowd of people stood behind them. Purple rock everywhere. I was inside some sort of cavern. Before long, the light of the portal enshrouded me, and in that moment, I noticed something dark and hideous emerging from the haze above me. 2 eyes, one a bright yellow, while another as black as shadow, centered by a fiery red light. A deep, thunderous growling sound erupted through my ears, growling, growing louder the further I allowed the light of the portal to take my whole body, my whole mind, my whole soul, until I vanished. Vamir had discovered me at the Palska shrine on Minerva Point. I was naked and unconscious. He recalls noticing purple rock dust on my skin. Vamir believes that Palska was connected with my appearance here on Neyyah. It's hard for me to recall faces or names. I know I had family, and people who cared for me, and I know I had been sent here for a reason. One name does surface in my mind, sweeping away the strange purple dust of mystery and making things in my life as clear as the Feamor sun that bathes my skin. Smallax. It only pains me when I think of it, boiling my blood, clawing at my skin. My heart breaks at the grief this name has caused, to the people, the faces, the souls I long to remember. Smallax. I shall find him. Maybe more will come to me as time passes. I hope so. Something unusual happened to me the other day. Vamir had instructed me to go down to the spore docks to replace the safe there, holding the Neyyah activation key. But upon traversal through the Pelorian portal, the safe unlocked itself. I was certain the safe had been locked before its transit in the portal. Vamir also informed me that such safes had exploded while being sent to the Pelorian portals. After a few days, the portal seems to have been given a complete upgrade. There's no problem now, but the Shiryuki portals continue to cause problems, with the possible closure of these portals entirely. Vamir hasn't explained to me the lock mechanisms for the safes, but at least I know a way to unlock one, if I ever need to do so. Okay, so if you're holding a safe, and you bring it through one of these bad portals, it will unlock the safe. That's interesting. So I wonder if there's going to be a puzzle where I pick up a safe, and then it's in my inventory, and I go through one of these portals, and then on the other side the safe will be unlocked. I witnessed Vamir setting up one of these strange, weird lantern-looking devices down by the Jalud arrival station the other day. Yeah, I recognize that. I've seen that on the ground. I've seen some of these planted in the waters of the Neyyah heater chamber, too. I believe it may be related to an experiment he wants me to be a part of. I'm not too sure what it's all about, but I have a feeling it's somehow connected with Oluj. If I can get to Oluj, I can get to Smallax. So Smallax is in Oluj. Okay. After looking at the weird lantern object, I've noticed it's connected to a manhole cover, one which always seemed to be locked, and I can only assume must be, opened remotely. What is he hiding in there? The other day, he left the door to the lab's basement unlocked at the lobby area. I managed to climb down to a small chamber, which I can only assume was once used for storage, but has now been filled with strange contraptions. Okay, hold on. I need to read this. The other day, he left the door to the lab's basement unlocked at the lobby area. I managed to climb down to a small chamber, which I can only assume was once used for storage, but now filled with strange contraptions, one of which I have seen before, at least a part of it, before he proceeded to set up everything up at the Lodvik Tower on the Neyyah pools. He has since sealed that top floor off as well. What are you up to, Vamir? I'm not quite sure what location he's referring to by the lab here. Fueling my suspicions, Vamir has been spending a lot of time at Minerva Point lately. That ancient shrine, it almost calls out to me in my sleep, awakening something in me which has so far lied dormant throughout my whole life until now. So many questions. Traveling here to Neyyah caused a fog to enshroud my memories. I'm not sure if this was an expected side effect of the traversal. All I know is that the Pelska and Smallax are important elements to my reasons for being here. Yeah, it's, they keep using this one. They keep using this trick, and, I already know the trick. Like, the puzzle's already been solved. I'm sorry, game. Things are starting to come back to me. It's important that I keep these entries concealed from now on, just in case. Survivors. They would talk of the Pelskas. For some reason, I struggle to remember that name. That creature's eyes. The Pelskas were strangely described as, creatures in one of the scrolls on Minerva Point. Which is odd, because they look very human to me. Like I saw, someone claiming to be a Pelska. They apparently have these sort of meta abilities, like they can prevent new arrivals from coming to the island. And they are not on Smallax's side. Or at least one of them isn't. Which makes me think, again, that Smallax is the bad guy of the story. Okay, we need more salt. Why don't we just salt all of this? Because we're gonna be reading a bunch of this. Are we gonna need to pick up more salt? Are we gonna run out? Okay. That creature's eyes, gazing deep into my soul from above the bright haze of the portal from my dream. It tries to stop me from remembering. What is this creature? All I know is Vamir is drawn to the Pelskas. They seem to lie dormant, hidden from this world. I am aware from the memories I have managed to salvage from the grip of that beast, staring back at me from my dream, that the Pelskas never visited my home, Quilivia. And Quilivia, the very place I was sent from. 4 rulers sent me here, people of wisdom and old age, survivors of a betrayal bestowed upon their world long ago by Smallax. Fajalta, their home world. I am here to reclaim it for them. To discover where Smallax lies, and only then will I be able to uncover the whereabouts of my people. A gateway with a name I have heard spoken so many times throughout the years, the Quilivia. Once opened, my people can enter this world. We shall take back what is rightfully ours. I've noticed Vamir has been using the salt pages a lot more. He's hiding things. I don't blame him. Of course, I do the same thing myself, and I also introduced him to it. Or shall I say, he discovered it himself, finding a way to read some of the writing in the old journal I had brought with me to Neyyah when I first arrived. I no longer have this book. I didn't really understand much of the writing myself, having very little memory of the mind who had bound the ink to the page, but now I do recall beautiful messages left behind by my grandfather, my mother, and my sister, and I try to put them aside, because I otherwise become swallowed up by the pain. They are no longer with me. Yet, I am fueled by the vision of my success in opening the Quilivium, freeing my people, and being reunited with my family once again. I chose this path. The four rulers trusted me to save their world. I will not fail. My grandfather. More memories sneak their way to the surface of what seemed to be an endless desert of unknown, of confusion, suffocating my mind for so long. I know now why I had to rid myself from that journal. Grandfather's death at the purple caves of Bolivia overshadows my happier memories of him, and I had to burn that book, only to have a stranger, an Ologerian, take our ways of hiding our writing, concealing vital information, thoughts and prayers, and mold it into something to satisfy his own needs. Vamir wasn't able to recover much of my journal, from what I can recall. However, he did get me to work very quickly, creating a similar ink using flora found here on Neyyah. At first, he found the gufunki mushrooms to be quite favorable, but then after adding roylant flowers into the mix, he created an ink which worked almost as well as the ink I'd used back in Bolivia. So you can make this ink by combining these. Not sure if that'll be relevant for a puzzle. The old one. I've heard this muttered by Vamir in his sleep. I went out to the binocular last night to check the status of the Neyyah heater chamber. Heard him through the closed door of his quarters. The old one. What does this mean? He'd been working on some strange devices down at Minerva Point. There's an old building down there, circular in shape, built very close to the Pelska Shrine. I've seen it. It's boarded off. I commented that Smolox is gonna get trapped there. I've seen sketches of such buildings that the survivors had run over the years. If I recall correctly, they were used for weapon storage during the Fijaltan reign. Now, something else. Something Vamir is creating. But for what? And how does this connect with the Pelska? Something is being planned between them, and it's connected with that building, and those weird machines he's built down there. That's it. I know now. There are 2 towers on Neyyah, which serve as transmitters to the Jalud portal here on the lab. Oh. I've seen one in Minerva Point and one in Glorfiak Mines. We put Pietas into those. 2 towers on Neyyah. So I've already found all of them, actually, which serve as transmitters to the Jalud portal here on the lab. So the lab is where Mason was in the Glorfiak Mines. Is that it? With the Binox computer system? That's the lab? Okay. I know Vamir had some lock systems put in place to keep the tower secure, but I'm also aware he uses the Jalud to return to Olojang. He must have it running all the time, surely. Maybe the lock systems don't even exist. They're just a way to distract me. What else could those towers be used for? There's a task Vamir wants me to finish by the end of the day. Collecting old heater shells from the Neyyah Zone. He wants them brought back here to the lab. He seems protective of them, or at least one of them. Maybe Smolox is getting too close. I remember the symbol patterns just as much as I remember the correct colors needed for the crystal block mechanisms. If anything, it's Vamir who needs to worry about forgetting them. His mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. Perhaps he's having the same dreams I had. That creature's eyes are starting to haunt him too. Anyway, after this task is done, I shall prepare myself to get on board the Jalud and travel to Olojang. I've been waiting far too long. Now's the time. My time. My people's time. Smolax, I am coming for you. That's that. And we saw him try and do that at the very beginning of the game. But he did not succeed. So this is probably the wrong assumption that he made, right? This is why he blew up. He had these towers are their lock systems put in place to keep the tower secure. but he uses the Jalud to return to Olajay. He must have it running all the time. So, those towers need to be powered for the Jalud to be able to go to Olajay? And without them, the power is not on? And that's why he blew up in the Jalud when he tried to go there? Because he had been working on the assumption that they were just always on. He made that guess. You know, took a shot at it, and he ended up blowing up. Is that what happened? Okay, and then we have one other journal. And then I think I'm done for today, but I have plenty of places I can go now. Alright, what's this one gonna say? I've had to dismantle the railings at the bridge leading to the old bunker on Sploridi Towers. They were rusted almost to nothing. A shame Smollax doesn't share the same views on the Fajolta world as I do, or at least, he used to. Even the symbol which represents Felitu Island is a full circle, when it didn't need to be. All the others are broken circles. He just had to make it clear that Olajay is indeed the center of everything. There's been a recent addition to the Binox computer system on the lab. An update to the Jituki portal, apparently delivering stronger access to the Spore Docks through the Toledo portal, leading to Benorva Point. Yep, I've seen that. I've already switched it. I believe this will cause extra strain on the system there. Even with the countless fixes Smollax has slapped onto those ancient machines. We'll see how this pans out. Smollax seemed to have taken a liking to my recent experiments with Gufunki mushroom spores. The results on the lanterns I have set up so far on Neyyah seem to indicate they deliver a great source of light power. While the lanterns seem to be working great on flat surfaces, more uneven, rockier surfaces cause the lantern's tentacles to lose their grip. I have thus been working on more remotely powered sources of light, which can be activated by those beautiful Gufunki mushroom spores. So far, so good. Quick maintenance check on the Kula crystals set up I installed a while ago at the watchtower of Felitu Island's harbor. Surprising how powerful it still is after having not inspected it for a good month or two now. Seems to work fine still. The heater servers don't seem to complain. The old Levandis tower nearby still provides even today, despite most of it now crumbling away into the ocean. Mason seems quite content with the new responsibilities I have given him. Regards to, I guess I have to say regards to here, I've given him regards to checking up on the Neyyah plant, making sure everything is running at point A, the Neyyah Zone. The Neyyah Platinum series models are great and hold up very well, but I doubt any upgrades will be taking place for a while. Smollax fears the spore counts are getting low here on Site 28, as he calls it. Competition is coming your way, he says. We'll see about that, Smollax. I've managed to hide the crystals safely away in a place Smollax will never end up going. Probably too afraid he'll be attacked by an eelopolite, still lurking away in those dark chambers after all these years. No Golercraft to save you, Smollax. Not now. And there's a picture here of this thing. What is this thing? I can put crystals there. Hold on, does this show the configuration it needs to be in? I can't make that out. It does look like there's a crystal in the center there, doesn't it? It looks kind of like it's on the same height as the right, but I can't quite see. I don't think that's meant to be a hint. Mason seems to agree with me on making sure there's a place to remind ourselves what color is needed for which mechanism. The Spore Docks sounds good. I've managed to tinker around with the power flow of the console there. So at the Spore Docks, there's only one thing I can interact with there. It's that thing I can open and close, and it takes in a mushroom spore. But none of the ones that I have work there. The Neyyah activation console is a secure place at point A of the ocean portal. And I've also made sure the key is also secure. And the Spore Docks seem a convenient place, considering the safe which holds it. There's something there. There's something with that. I have to do something with that. How do I get a spore I can actually use there? I don't know. It's kind of implied that at some point I'm going to be able to actually get one off of those mushrooms, right? Like, am I going to be able to actually harvest the spore myself? The Velatron machine continues to work its magic, even with the Peyoter's clan no longer present to oversee its power. However, they may forgive the slight alterations I have had to install into the machine, due to the mechanisms there being so ancient. It will work well for the code system. The oil canister still fits, that's what the oil canister is for, and operates as it should do, fueling the machine. With the use of Bilix oil, I feel it still connects the Velatron Temple with the other 5 zones of Fujitsu Island. So we have to use the oil there. I already know how to get there, I've just opened the door there. So I can get there and use that. That's definitely what I'm going to have to do there. And that's why he made such a big deal out of hiding that canister. Because this is all very secret. It's all meant to be difficult to get to for Smollax in the worst case scenario. I was tidying up some spilled Levandis crystals from a fallen bowl at the emergency exit chamber of Glorifiac Mines the other day. I was tidying up some spilled Levandis crystals from a fallen bowl, emergency exit chamber of the Glorifiac Mines the other day. Yeah, we've been there. The emergency exit chamber, that's the spot, you know, with the shaft that leads out to the beach. So there's some spilled Levandis crystals. Yeah. That's where we picked up red and purple crystals. Yes. The sea breeze can pick up a gale through the closed tunnel there. Then I stopped in my tracks and thought about my actions. While I strive to preserve what is left of the Fujitsu world, perhaps I too am only sucking dry the remaining soul of this scarred land. As it is, a monstrous machine now sits where the Chianti Hall used to be, housing these very Levandis crystals which were protected and held sacred to the Fujitsu, dating back to a long time ago when Aletha Ray sailed out to discover the constellation. And now they are connected up to pipes and tubes, dunked in solutions to help grow Fujitsu plants, yet another part of Fujitsu stolen by us and molded to fit our own needs. Am I just like Smollax? No. Even in my attempts to help better Olujay, perhaps I am not preserving anything of their old world at all. I know many of the old Fujitsu spheres have either fallen or been blown off from certain structures here on Neyyah, and I have let those be, as though not to disturb too much of this ancient world. Maybe I should let my thoughts be for now. I can only do what I can. Until the Quilivian is found, Fujitsu remains in the grip of Olujay. Neyyah will only be Neyyah Site 28, and the Lodvik Tower, once bearing the sacred Lodvik waters which were pumped into the Neyyah chamber to help grow this beautiful plant, will only ever serve as another means in which I am guilty of instigating, a means of escape. Everything is built to serve Olujay. What will the Fujitsu think when they do return here to Neyyah? I do wonder if it's too late. Orion speaks of the Old One. They shall arrive here very soon. From what she has told me about them, I hope it's sooner rather than later. Is Orion the name of the Pelska that keeps coming to us in visions? Like, they keep appearing in front of us. Is that Orion? Because it cannot be the person I thought it was before, Chartreuse or whoever, that was one of the rulers, because that was one of the rulers, right? It's a Pelska. So Orion, maybe that's the Pelska. Okay. We have an obvious goal for next time, so I'm going to leave it here. Next time, obviously, we're going to immediately go to that Velatron machine. And, we're also going to explore the Scarlidi Towers. It's been long enough. I've been putting it off for too long. We have to go to the Scarlidi Towers. I even have a key to do something there. I have no idea what it's even for. So, yeah, we'll do that. But most importantly, we're going to go to that Velatron machine, and we're going to put that oil canister there. Because that, you know, is what we've just unlocked. And what the game is really driving me to be the most curious about. So anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you again next time.